swifter than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird brain. It's a plane. It's iWalter. Yes, it's iWalter, strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. iWalter, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend ears with his annoying voice, and who, disguised as Walter Interranti, mild-mannered janitor for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, nonsense, and the American way. And now, another exciting episode in the adventures of iWalter.
Hey everyone, this is Walter from iWalter. Yeah, I'm going to try to do a show tonight. I'm not sure how good it's going to be, but I actually will not be doing much talking because I got enough clips, and most of them are pretty lengthy. One's from John Miller, and another one's from Michelle Markin, and there is another one from Deneen Baroli. So they're all really good, and then there was one or so that I had from Ken Matthews that I actually wanted to use earlier during the week, and I just finally got around to like ripping the clips because I have to. It's a whole kind of crazy thing I have to do now to make a clip, and I really don't like doing it though. It's kind of painstaking anymore. So anyway, I got these clips, and I got actually 7 clips. So I'm not sure which order I should place these in. But I'm going to try. But again, it's good because it's less of me talking. And actually, I got a clip from Fox News that I had ripped too on illegal immigrant killing some family. And the only one that was surviving member is, I'm not laughing really, but it was a mother, and she was talking on Fox News. Her husband and her children got killed from an illegal immigrant. So that sounded really good. It wasn't. I don't want to say it that way, but it was an interesting clip. So I'm not sure which one to use first. I'm going to probably try to get the Ken Matthews ones out of the way first, and work my way from there. So give me a minute and get my thoughts together, because I do got a lot of clips. I got 7 of them. So anyway, let me play the Ken Matthews one, and then I'll respond afterwards or see where it goes. Okay, here we go. Here's the first clip.
Army putting a command center in a sanctuary city? We already know for a fact there's 50,000 illegal foreign nationals roaming around in Philly with the mayor's blessing.
Okay, that one was Ken Matthews, so I hope that was okay. That one, actually, I do remember now. That was from the other show. I might have already used that clip. I can't remember, but it was from Ken Matthews the other day, and it was about illegal immigrants in Philadelphia. Yeah, because I didn't realize it was that high. You know, Philadelphia is considered a sanctuary city, and refresh my memory on that one when I just heard it now. So, yeah, that was clip number 1. Yeah, it's pretty sad that, and it's gotten much worse, I think, and this was just mentioned, you know, I mean, it's every day it gets much worse around this area with kind of the situation we have in hand. So, I think you're going to enjoy all these clips. Again, they'll probably take me throughout the show, probably bring me up to an hour, because there is quite a few. Quite a few clips. Again, there's 7 of them. I just knocked one out. So again, I just want to go through these. Oh, yes. Okay, this is the other one I want to go from with Ken Matthews, by the way. I just couldn't remember. I was looking at these because I did try to name them, make it easier for myself. The next one I want to play from Ken Matthews was a couple days ago, and he's playing this clip from Rachel Maddow. Is that how you say it? And she's, she doesn't get upset about other things the liberals or the progressive left has done, under Obama administration, and yet she all suddenly she gets upset with these illegals, quote unquote, being mistreated. That's the big thing you hear about now. I could find tons of clips on that, but this was from the other day, and it was on the news again tonight when I was listening to different radio shows where these people are up in arms about how illegal and their children are being mistreated. But the problem is, I think it's actually in this clip, so maybe I don't have to say everything. I'll just play the clip, and then I'll respond afterwards. I think that's probably the best thing to do at this point. So here we go. I'm going to play the next Ken Matthews clip, and hopefully you enjoy this one.
The president signed an order that allows illegal foreign national adults to remain with the children they claim are their own until they're vetted. That would be the one part of it. One of the reasons I think the Democrats are so wound up about this is because I want to share with you the objective, credible, factual news analysis that many Democrats get from this woman, Rachel Maddow.
New news. This has just come out from the Associated Press. This is incredible. Trump administration officials have been sending babies and other young children. Oh, hold on. To at least 3. Can we put up the graphic of this? Thank you. Do we have it? No. 3 tender age shelters in South Texas.
I'm sorry. I got to go back again.
News.
Hold on a second. I got to go back again. Let me just go back again. And then I'll let you the whole thing. Because I cannot figure out who is more authentic when crying about a political issue like this that hurts Trump. Jimmy Kimmel or Rachel Maddow? You tell me. Who's the better crier on air live?
New news. This has just come out from the Associated Press. This is incredible. Trump administration officials have been sending babies and other young children. Oh, hold on. To at least 3. Can we put up the graphic of this? Thank you. Do we have it? No. 3 tender age shelters in South Texas. Lawyers and medical providers. Just, I think I'm going to have to hand this off. Yeah. Sorry. That does it for us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow. Now it is time for the last word with Lawrence O'Donnell, where he is live in.
No, it's not a sketch. It's not a Saturday Night Live sketch. And it's not Jimmy Kimmel either. Or the other 7 liberal reporters that broke down. It's Rachel Maddow. She's throwing it over to this idiot.
Brownsville, Texas.
Thank you very much, Rachel. We just got word of that breaking news story that Rachel was just telling you about, and that is that the Trump administration has announced that they now say that they are operating 3 facilities somewhere around here for what they're calling tender age children. This is a very difficult story to process. It has been.
Why? Why is it a very difficult story to process? Well, that doesn't matter, Ken. Larry O'Donnell said so. But why is it? Why is it a difficult story to process? And what's going on in people's country that they're willing to break the law and bring their kids into it? I don't know. We never got the facts from Rachel Maddow. Oh, yeah, you'll be hearing that soundbite again. You will be hearing that soundbite again. Yes. Hold on a second. Hold on. I think we have some other soundbite here.
Check. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting.
Hold on a second.
Top 10 reporters who hold back tears.
Here we go.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content.
Hold on a second.
For this list, we're looking at instances.
Oh, they just gave a list. I thought they were giving the clips because there's actually 10. There's actually 10 reporters who, when they read the story. Now, I know if you're a middle-aged liberal man and you're tearing up because you heard Rachel cry, and you may think, gosh, Ken, your heart is as cold as a stone. No. I've just been around enough to know that what bullcrap is. And maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I don't know. I never saw Rachel Maddow cry over the Kermit Gosnell story, over 29,000 black babies aborted just last year in New York City. I didn't see her cry over MS-13 gang raping a sophomore in Baltimore. Didn't see that. Didn't see the tears. Didn't see the, how does a mother even deal with that? Nope, didn't see it. 3 weeks ago, two cops got assassinated in a diner down south. I forget the name of the diner or the state. They were sitting there having lunch. Both were shot in the back of the head. Boom, assassinated, dead. Not a tear, maybe not even coverage. But this was coordinated beautifully. This was coordinated beautifully. Look, it's just like what I say to people on ESPN. Shut up and give me the sports. And as far as the news go, Rachel, pull yourself together. You're a professional. Seriously, pull yourself together. Here's my take on that. I think Rachel and Anderson Cooper and Lawrence O'Donnell and Chris Matthews and all those women on MSNBC, I think they are still so traumatized that any opportunity to break down emotionally, well, they're going to seize on it because they're still traumatized because she was crying election night. So it's hard for me to prioritize or to see what Rachel Maddow's priorities are. You broke down and cried when Hillary lost an election, for God's sake, and now you're breaking down and crying over something that's been going on for 50 years? And you're crying day 2 of a national argument where all the bullet points are the same. So that's why I appear cold-hearted about Rachel Maddow. I think that probably half of NBC is fraudulent as far as fact. And there are people that get tingles up their legs and people that think Obama wears a suit like no one else does. Look at the crease of his slacks. And on and on and on. Somewhere in there's got to be some fact. And the fact is they're taking the children. Well, no longer are they because he signed that. But the fact was when she broke down, they were, instead of saying babies, they were calling tender-age children. I think there's a certain age, who knows, maybe it's the age where they, the toddler versus the baby age. I don't know. But this woman was crying like they were going to the gulag. And let it sink in for a second. Some of these children dragged over the border by mommy and daddy, or cousin and godfather, or smuggler, or whoever, when they get separated, they're put in a place where they're probably going to eat better and be more protected than they were in their own country. This is why you look at someone like Rachel Maddow and you go, you fool. Would you just stop it and give us the deal? Tell us where they're going. What is it like there? Is there a doctor there? Will they be fed? Will they be kept warm if it's cold, cool if it's hot? Will they be checked for injuries or disease? Will they be vaccinated? When can they be reunited with their family? Nope. I just got a minute and a half of Rachel Maddow. It's too hard for me to report. Oh, I hate Trump. Oh, my God, it's so awesome. Come on, man. It's getting ridiculous. It's almost like Jimmy Kimmel. I haven't watched Jimmy Kimmel since he broke down over Obamacare, which he didn't know crap about. And then he lectured me on net neutrality, which he doesn't know crap about. And then Chelsea Handler's lecturing me on Nazism, which he doesn't know crap about. Where do you go for the facts? Obviously not MSNBC or CNN.
All right. Hey, so hopefully that was interesting to you. See, the thing was, I was trying to tell my friend Matt today, I was like, hey, I couldn't remember where I heard this, but I think I might have mentioned to him it was Ken Matthews. But the main thing I want people to take away, if you notice, a lot of these meltdowns from all of the left in this millennial age of females and mainly the females, I would say, is right after Hillary had lost the election. You know, the left was always getting what they wanted for how long? For a very long time, and everything was peachy keen. But then when, you know, they thought that they had everything that forever, you know, the left, because we had to suffer through 8 years of Democrat, and that was okay. But once the left had lost their power again, you know, they were kind of set back in their place. All of a sudden, they start panicking. Now, when we lost, you know, I told my friend Matt, when we lost, like, I guess, most of the House and Senate and, you know, having a Republican president, yeah, we were upset. I should speak for myself. I was upset. I know other people were kind of upset, but it was like my friend Matt would say, what can you do about it? There's nothing you can do. We just got to survive, make the best of it, and, you know, we can complain about it, but it's really not going to get us anywhere. When we had a Republican, when we had a Democrat, I should say, in office, and we had most of the decisions being made from the Democratic Party, and you didn't hear us putting pink hats on or screaming or tearing things apart. Now, this was something, again. Even Kevin Sorbo said to me one time, it's like, I'm not the one screaming and hollering and kicking and screaming. Something on that line, he said. It's generally, you know, we have to just accept the fact. But yet, if it's on the left, then that's a different story. They can cry and carry on and cry rape and victim and everything else, and we should just handle that. But they're just hypocrites about the whole thing. So anyway, since I do have so many other clips, I got, I think 5 more clips, and they're pretty long, but they're all really good. So I think the next one I'm going to pull up is the one from Fox News. I think that this would fit in very nicely right now. So anyway, hope you enjoy that one.
We are back with this heartbreaking story. An illegal immigrant without a driver's license responsible for this car wreck that killed a volunteer firefighter and 2 young children, ages 4 and 22 months. Now, the heartbroken widow and mother is fighting for justice so that other families don't have to go through what she went through. And she is outraged that her family's killer only got 2 years behind bars. Courtney Hacking joins us right now. Courtney, it is a horrible, horrible story. You lost everything. You lost your entire family. Tell us what happened.
On that day, my husband and our 2 youngest children were on their way home, and on their way home, they were struck head-on by an illegal immigrant and killed instantly in the drive.
They're absolutely beautiful. Your daughter there, your son, your husband, who is a firefighter. Courtney, tell us about them. Tell us about your family.
Peter was a wonderful man. He was a volunteer firefighter. He was a hero to many. He would give you the shirt off his back if you needed it. Never met a stranger. Ellie and Grayson were both beautiful old souls, and Ellie was my only girl, and she was a princess, and Grayson was mischievous and precious and was bound to do great things in this world.
Where do you find your strength? I mean, this happened only over a year ago in 2016. You're now here talking publicly about it. You're trying to make real change. Where do you find that strength inside of you?
My children and my husband. My husband, still to this day, he was a light for me. And he always thought further beyond people. He felt people needed to dig deeper within themselves to find, you know, their purpose. And because of him, and I feel the need to to do something. And my children on a daily basis still, I have 4 boys, and they on a daily basis remind me that I need to be strong and I need to fight this battle and I need to do it for all of them.
So the person responsible for this, for killing your entire family, an illegal immigrant who's here, only 2 years behind bars. Courtney, how do you only get 2 years for that?
I ask myself the same question all the time. He committed so many crimes by being here to begin with. What people seem to forget in this matter is that the term illegal immigrant, illegal in front of it is already making him a criminal. People think that his crime, that his punishment seemed to fit because he was an illegal immigrant. And for some reason, it seems to me that they feel that he should have some sort of special circumstances and that he should be treated differently because he is an illegal immigrant. But to me, being illegal in this country was a crime on its own, so I don't understand how he did get only 2 years. And it's, to me, I take it offensively. I take it very personally.
Well, your husband was an immigrant himself. He came here legally.
He was.
You are now fighting for change. What are you hoping happens? What are you wanting to get changed?
I want our laws to be enforced. We have immigration laws in place, and I know the Border Control picks up over 100,000 illegal immigrants on a regular basis, and letting them go isn't solving the problem. Something needs to be done, the message needs to be put across to them that when you come to this country, you need to do it legally, because when they come here, all they're getting is they're committing crimes, they're getting a slap on the wrist, and they're going back to Mexico, or they're going back to whatever country they came from. And they were here illegally, they were committing a crime, and they come here and they commit a larger crime, and they get a slap on the wrist, and they get to go home. So I want to see those laws enforced, and I want to see stricter punishment for those crimes.
What is your reaction when, I'm sure you saw the news, the state of California now becoming a sanctuary state? The Governor Brown has signed that into law. What is going through your mind? How does that make you feel?
I guess disappointed, really. We have so many issues in our laws to begin with. So to declare yourself a sanctuary state and say that if you want to be here illegally, it's okay, just come to us, is slapping the rest of the country in the face. So I don't believe one country or one state in the country should have the right to say it's okay for us, for you to not follow the law, but everybody else, you follow the law like it's supposed to be followed. So California is kind of a slap in the face, and it should be to all American citizens.
Courtney, before we let you go, what are the best memories you have of your 2 beautiful children? How do you remember them?
The sunshine on a dark day. I remember their beautiful faces. I see them from the moment I wake up till the moment I go to bed. I remember their hugs, and I miss those. I miss those hugs every day, and I miss hearing Mommy coming down the hall. And I miss when they said, "I love you." I miss their kisses. I miss everything about them on a daily basis.
Courtney, your strength is incredible. You are an amazing woman, so thank you for being on with us and for sharing your story. Our thoughts, our prayers
Thank you for having me.
Are going to continue to be with you, Courtney. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back.
All right. I hope you liked that one also. That one was from Fox News. It was a segment. Now, if you noticed, if you heard it, my friend, I think it was in one of my little private groups on Facebook, friend Todd and his brother, Paul. I think one of those guys sent it to me, and I listened. I saw it, and it was like caught my eye. It was just today they sent it to me, though. It was from Fox News, so maybe it was a follow up on the story from Fox. But if you notice, it was last year. But the situation has not changed. Now, the thing that intrigues me, though, that the left especially loves to put political correctness over, make it circumcede or, put that in front of human life. Like, human life seems to mean nothing to them as opposed to, political correctness. And political correctness seems to be the most important thing in their eyes. So 2 very small children and a father got killed by an illegal immigrant. And again, the important thing to take from this is he's only going to get 2 years, and they may throw him out of the country. They won't do any other type of prosecution. And if it was you or I, for one thing, we would get life imprisonment and probably either that or possibly death penalty. But with them, like the woman said, the victim in this story, if you're an illegal immigrant, you just get a slap on the wrist. You might get sent out of the country. But then they end up coming back in the country and doing the same offense again, because that's happened in the past. So anyway, like I said, I kind of expect that you won't have to hear much of my voice. You're going to hear a lot of my clips that I had cut, and it's probably an hour worth of clips between those because they're very lengthy, the segments that I pulled, but I pulled them for a very important reason. You can see a little bit of a trend so far. So the next one's going to continue on with illegal immigrants and how they seem to have more rights than we do. So the next one's going to be by Michelle Markin. I think it's Markin. She's really good. I pulled her clips before. Now, a lot of these people, their stuff is pulled, and it's on, I think it's CRTV or something. It's a link on Facebook, and these are people that actually, because there's 2 other people as well. John Miller, I might have mentioned him before, and the other woman is Deneen Borella, and they're really good. But Michelle is actually going to continue in the same direction that I've started tonight's segment. So that's the important thing that you need to know where I'm going with tonight's show. And it's about a lot of different people saying much more clearly than I could on stuff I complained about for I don't know how long since I've started my podcast practically. So, so you should enjoy this one, I hope. But again, the next one's from Michelle Markin, I think. Marklin. I think it's Markin or Macon. I'm really bad with pronouncing names. Anyway, it was titled, her title was Illegal Aliens Get Faster Response from Crazy, I don't know what the last thing is supposed to be. Oh, crazy courts than Americans do. So, again, I hope you enjoy this one as well. Not in the way I'm thinking of it, but I'm hoping you will get something from this. So here we go for the next segment, because there's like 3 more left, and that's including this one from Michelle.
Thanks to our cray-cray judicial system, illegal aliens can make claims of discriminatory employment practices and get quicker action in the courts than law-abiding American citizens. I kid you not. In April, an Obama-appointed federal judge in Florida ruled that an illegal alien from Venezuela, protected by Obama's executive amnesty, had the right to sue Procter & Gamble for refusing to give him a paid internship. It's illegal for companies to employ illegal aliens, but somehow this plaintiff, represented by the Open Borders Mexican-American Legal Defense and Education Fund, has the right to sue for employment discrimination, only in America. Meanwhile, the wheels of justice grind slowly for American workers harmed by foreign cheap labor pipelines. 10 long years ago, my friend and co-author John Miano filed a lawsuit over a federal government regulation designed to circumvent the cap on H-1B foreign tech worker visas. The scheme, rammed through by bureaucrats and never debated in Congress, allows foreigners to work on student visas for up to 35 months after graduation on the so-called Optional Practical Training Program, or OPT. President Obama expanded this regulatory program through unfettered administrative fiat. There are no labor protections of any kind and no enforcement mechanisms. Aliens on OPT do not even have to get paid at all. Their employers do not have to pay Medicare and Social Security taxes on them, which creates a huge incentive to throw American workers under the bus in favor of lower-wage foreign labor. Under OPT, over 125,000 foreign workers a year are simply turned loose in America with no supervision or restrictions. How did the Obama bureaucrats at the Department of Homeland Security get the authority to create such a pipeline for non-students to work on student visas and to create a whole new category of work permits without congressional authorization? Answer: audacious power grab by the administrative state. John Miano and his colleagues have waded through 3 rounds of district court hearings, 4 appeals, and there's still no decision on their OPT lawsuit. As John notes, the saga of OPT represents a total breakdown of the system of judicial review of agency actions. When it takes over a decade to get a final decision from the courts on whether an agency action is lawful, the system is simply not functioning. Indeed. And when illegal aliens fighting to usurp American jobs can get faster responses in the courts than American workers fighting to defend their jobs, the system is more than merely dysfunctional. It's corrupt.
Okay, so that was the next one from Michelle. That was the last one was from Michelle on illegal immigrants having more rights than we do. Need I say more? Probably not, because I think that kind of speaks for itself. That's the reason I put that up next. So, yeah, I can kind of say the same thing that she's already said, but it's kind of pointless. So, I don't know. I hope I reach somebody on this stuff, and it's going to be more than just, well, what can we do? I know I've said that before, that it is that sometimes. But in this particular case, again, the reason I'm doing this is because just to show you that I'm not the only one who complains about this stuff. There's other people, too. And these are like, newscasters who are not presenting fake news, but actually factual news. Because I put this stuff up on Facebook, and a couple of my friends that think the same way I do on Facebook actually did say that. This is fact. And yet the left does not want to hear this. A lot of the left or these people who think they know better than anybody else and they feel like they've been victimized for some stupid reason, they don't want to hear this. But then I have the people who comment back very positively when I put this stuff up. And they say, yeah, this is fact. I had that the other day, actually, from a friend. His name is John. I'll leave it at that. So let me go to the next segment because, again, these are very good, I think, the ones I picked. And I got 2 left, I believe. Believe it or not, yeah, it's been pretty long, but they've been really good. I think I'm going to do the one from John Miller he called it School Days, and you'll hear why it's titled that. John Miller he works, I think, in the White House actually, or he's in Congress. I forget, but I had to look it up. I think it said White House, if I remember correctly.
A school in Richmond, Virginia is renaming itself after none other than the most destructive president in modern American history, Barack Hussein Obama. Now, the school used to be named after a Confederate general, J.E.B. Stuart, but the folks at the school, they said, history? Blech, get that away from us. And so they are renaming the school. Step aside, General. It's Barack School now. Welcome to your first day of classes at what is officially being called Barack Obama Elementary School.
Yes, we can.
An elementary school in Richmond, Virginia will be renamed after former President Barack Obama.
Oh my God, isn't that fabulous? And in true Obama fashion, this name change, I can't even believe this name change is going to cost a whopping $26,000 just to change the name. You really can't make that up. Now, you might be wondering, why the hell is it so expensive just to change the name of the school, especially when you've got, the teachers' unions whining, oh, we don't have any money, we don't have any books, we have to buy our own supplies. Well, it's because they've got to pay for the signage, they've got to pay for the Barack Obama rubber mats, they've got to pay for the Barack Obama stationery, the Barack Obama t-shirts, and all the swag with Barack Obama's beautiful mug on it. And so they say that's going to cost them $26K. Don't believe me? Here is the Richmond School Board's ledger of estimated costs. You can see for yourself. So congratulations, Richmond School Board. Your teachers, they could have had $26,000 worth of all these books and supplies, but you had to go and complain about your school's name. And so all that money, all of it is going to making over your school in the name of this loser. But let's picture what an Obama elementary school would look like. I want to be clear, by the way, this is just what I'd imagine the school, fashioned in the name of the great one, Barack Obama, would actually look like. We don't actually know what they're going to implement yet, but I'd imagine it'd look a little something like this, all right? Before you even get to school, here at Barack Obama Elementary School, we will have eliminated the school bus system because, of course, Barack Obama School, that has to stay in line with Barack Obama EPA air pollution standards. We can't have our poor Earth hurting just because these spoiled, rotten kids, they want to take the bus. So we're going to have the 5 to 11-year-olds ride their bikes to school. Dangerous? No, of course not. Not here at Barack Obama Elementary School. We have laws that require them to use helmets so they won't bust their heads open on the pavement. So no buses here at Barack Obama Elementary School. And when the students get to school, they'll be required, like most schools, to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. But here at Barack Obama Elementary School, we don't particularly care for the Pledge of Allegiance. In fact, we don't particularly care for the country at all. So we've come up with our own Pledge of Allegiance that goes a little something like this. I pledge of allegiance to Barack Obama and the United Classes of Obama School, and to the workers for which I stand, one curriculum, above God, divisible by color, with fair shares and social justice for all. Oh, and by the way, did I mention we hate Jesus? Now it is time for math class here at Barack Obama Elementary School. And not just any math class. Here at Barack Obama Elementary School, we do Common Core math. It's just the same, but a lot more complicated for absolutely no reason. Oh, Mrs. Ricky, can you show me the Common Core way to add two numbers?
Add 26 plus 17 by breaking apart numbers to make a 10. Use a number that adds with the 6 in 26 to make a 10. Since 6 plus 4 equals 10, use 4.
What? It's just adding two numbers. Don't get it? Neither do I, but it's fine because when you flunk the test, you'll get an A anyway. Everyone gets an A for effort here at Barack Obama Elementary School, except for, of course, the student who stayed up all night for weeks perfecting his mock startup business, complete with inventory, stock portfolio, and a fully functioning website. But when he shows that to the teacher goes and says,
You didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
Yeah, you didn't build that. You didn't build that. Someone else made that happen. And everyone, by the way, in the class who was watching TV and sleeping and maybe smoking weed, they're going to get credit for your invention. Now, when it comes to physical education here at Barack Obama Elementary School, we will be changing the name of our team to the Barack Obama Pussies. And here at Barack Obama Elementary School, everyone is a winner. We don't practice because it don't matter who wins, but the Barack Obama Pussies lose every single time. And still, you will, of course, get a trophy for your loss. Everyone is a winner. And while the other elementary school teams are all practicing, we welcome our students to participate in a dope smoking session out in the Choom Gang courtyard. It's a tradition here. At Barack Obama Elementary School, our bathrooms are obviously transgender. We have to be accepting of all people, so we have transgender-friendly bathrooms. All genders are welcome here in our bathrooms at Barack Obama Elementary School. So don't worry, little Susie, if the janitor Steve is dropping a deuce right next to you, because he now identifies as a woman. So you guys are the same gender. So just make sure he's not peeping through the slot at you. Now, the school will probably need a surge in funding. That $26,000, that's just the base fund. That's just the starter. But they're going to need more money. Let's call it a stimulus package, shall we? But instead of improving the students' performance, their test scores will actually go down, just like the country got worse after the stimulus package. They might even lose more brain cells and leave for middle school stupider than they were when they came in. Because after all, that's the Barack Obama way. Just as the country was left worse off when Obama left than it was when he got into office, that's what's going to happen at this school. So just make sure to send your kids to Donald J. Trump Middle School after elementary school so they can unlearn all the bad habits and the crap that they picked up at Barack Obama Elementary School.
I think I cut that off a little bit too tight. It is really funny, so I got to thank him for that one, even though it's kind of a rip that I did from his segment. Trying to look for his name again. God, that was so funny, though. John Miller. Yeah, so I got to thank John Miller for that. That was definitely really good. So thank you, John Miller, for your your entertainment. And it was absolutely true, sending people to Donald Trump Middle School after they, to unlearn everything they didn't learn or learned incorrectly from the Obama school. Yeah, it's just classic. It's funny, and again, that's why I needed to share this stuff with everybody else. I have one last one, and it's from, again, Deanne Barella. She's really good. I could do hours on these segments because they're constantly being posted, and they're all really good. But because I actually fill the whole show just on sound clips. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, but there really isn't that many listeners, so I don't know what else I can say. Sorry, no, but sorry for presenting the truth with people. Do I need to say any more? I don't know. So anyway, let me play the one from Deneen, or I think it is Deneen. So let me put that in next, and again, let me know what you think.
The Justice Department thinks you are stupid. The long-awaited Justice Department Inspector General report on the Hillary Clinton email investigation was released, and you won't believe the conclusion they draw.
Exposing lies, revealing truth. Here's the deal with Deneen Borelli.
I quote, "Our review did not find documentary or testimonial evidence directly connecting the political views these employees expressed in their text messages and instant messages to the specific investigative decisions we reviewed." Translation, the Inspector General, commonly referred to as the IG, didn't find any internal FBI strategy memo spelling out how the Bureau was going to let Hillary Clinton off the hook. Instead, their excuse is a couple of key words: directly connecting. The truth is, the Inspector General's report reveals extreme anti-Trump bias from FBI leadership. From their contempt of Donald Trump, with words including loathsome, an idiot, awful, an enormous blank, and blank Trump, to what they really think about Trump supporters: retarded, the crazies, and that one could smell them. And there's this classic exchange when Page asked Strzok if Donald Trump would become president, and his response: no, he's not. We'll stop it. That is a clear and explicit bias within the FBI. This is important because Peter Strzok was involved with a number of government oversight investigations, things like Hillary Clinton's emails, which this report was about. If this agent clearly stated we'll stop Donald Trump from becoming president, this undoubtedly played a role in how he performed in his government job. And yet, the report concludes there is no evidence directly connecting the political views to their investigative decisions. Let me make this really clear for you. The Inspector General's report set the political bias bar so high it couldn't be met without a pro-Clinton strategy document. My best guess, they wrote this misleading conclusion to give the lefties a talking point so they don't have to address the real issues. FBI Director Christopher Wray seized upon the conclusion to protect the Bureau.
This report did not find any evidence of political bias or improper considerations actually impacting the investigation under review.
And naturally, the mainstream media and liberals are also pouncing on this conclusion, spinning the outcome and exonerating the FBI of political bias when facts speak otherwise. Here's CNN host Chris Cuomo's spin cycle.
5 biased people. Yeah, they happen to be the top people at the FBI who ran the Clinton investigation. And then, oh, by the way, went to the Russian investigation. And oh, by the way, 3 of those 5 were put on Mueller's team.
And then they got removed as soon as this came out. Another bad fact for you.
Right, which shows how biased they were.
No, it shows that there was accountability.
And we have the Inspector General.
Accountability? What part of "we're going to stop President Trump from becoming president" sounds anything like accountability? And according to the folks over at CNN, there's nothing to see here, just move along.
there's nothing that was found in the IG report, 500 plus pages, that suggests those 7 words that Strzok typed out biased the investigation in any meaningful way.
Those 7 words are referring to, we won't let Donald Trump become president. But Donald Trump became president despite all the bias against him at all levels of government. Sorry, CNN, democracy is alive and well in America. Yet the conclusion of the report is concerning, and it's not the first time we've seen this. Does the directly connected phrase sound familiar? It should. It's deja vu all over again. It's the same pattern we watched in July 2016 when then FBI Director James Comey detailed how Hillary Clinton was extremely careless in handling government emails, only to conclude, oh, never mind. With a straight face, James Comey said this.
In looking back at our investigations into the mishandling or removal of classified information, we cannot find a case that would support bringing criminal charges on these facts.
Our government, hard at work. Here's the deal. By writing a conclusion that contradicts the facts of the report itself, the DOJ bureaucracy only seeks to protect itself and thinks you're too stupid to notice. They have been caught red-handed with numerous instances of explicit political bias, and yet the IG report tipped the scales of justice and objectivity by absolving itself. They really do think you are stupid. You just pay their salaries so they can insult and mock you. It's all about them and not you or the rule of law. I'm Deneen Borelli with CRTV.
Okay, hey, that was Deneen Morelli. I made sure I listened to that whole thing. I listened to actually everything again that I had ripped to make sure I'm saying everything correctly. So thank you again for these segments from you guys, even though you didn't give them to me. I actually ripped those. It just sounds better if I say, hey, thank you, which I do appreciate that people like that. I really do. Deneen Morelli's segment was really good. Again, I've said this stuff before myself, but I think it just, once again, I think it falls on deaf ears. Like, Walter, you have no clue what you're talking about. Well, guess what? I didn't say anything tonight on this show, so I made it perfect. So I really don't have much more to go by because, the show is almost close to an hour, which is perfect. I think I can only find one story and might just let it go at that. So my friend Todd had sent me a story. Might even just wrap it up with this as my last segment for tonight. If I have anything else, I'll just make another podcast. Because I like to keep it that everything was consistent tonight. It wasn't me jumping around. Actually, I do have something else after this story. And it's something stupid. I went and seen last night Jurassic World 2, whatever it was called. And it wasn't that great. But let me get this out first, this story. Norristown Patch, a friend sent me a story. Arrest made in Norristown teen's murder. Breaking news: an 18-year-old has been arrested in the murder of a Norristown teen last weekend. Officials had mentioned. So, this happens all the time, Walter. Well, you know what? It's funny because when I mention this stuff, it seems like, this stuff that I talk about on my podcast never seems to happen right in your back doorstep, but yeah, this time it did. And why does this stuff continue to go on? Well, probably because, we really don't want to hear about it, and we kind of just want to turn the other cheek. Norristown, PA, an 18-year-old has been arrested for the murder of a Norristown teen last weekend in a drug deal gone awry. See, I say about this stuff, but again, it seems like I don't know what I'm talking about. That there is drug problems around here, and, there's red flags going up everywhere, but nobody wants to seem to discuss it or even make word of it. The Montgomery County District Attorney's Office announced on Friday this thing with this drug bust or this person. It was drug related, I should say. Andre Marcus Johnson, 18, of Philadelphia, faces murder, robbery, and related charges in connection with the killing of a 19-year-old Desmond Johnson. Authorities said the two are not related. That's why I don't like reading stories either. I kind of messed that up, I think. The incident occurred around 11:52 p.m. on Saturday night, June 16th, on Carson Alley behind 330 East Penn Street, Norristown, police had mentioned. Police said the investigation revealed that the suspect arranged to meet the victim to buy marijuana from him. When Desmond Johnson arrived at the meet-in place, however, Andre Marcus Johnson robbed him and then shot him multiple times, according to authorities. Norristown used to be a very safe place. It no longer is. Desmond Johnson was found dead on the scene by first responders. An autopsy by the Montgomery County Coroner's Office revealed the cause of death as a gunshot wound to the chest. Well, if he had many gunshot wounds, I think I could have determined that, had made that determination without the autopsy. I hate to say this. Bail was denied for Andre Marcus Johnson, and a preliminary hearing, I'm sorry, Matt's probably laughing right now, has been set for July 3rd. So that's my dad's birthday. He's going to have a court hearing. Nobody cares about that. I'm just trying to lighten the dark stories, in some way. So again, there's not much else to mention. I hope everybody kind of enjoyed what, it's not that it's enjoyable news. That's far from what it is. But I just hope you get something from it. You know what I mean? Like, you take something from this. And again, why I did this particular, segment tonight in the way that it was put together was basically that it's not just me talking, out of my butt. That's the bottom line. So anyway, I forgot almost to mention, and it is almost on the hour, and I want to keep it like even a little bit below an hour would be perfect. But there was another story a friend had sent my way, and I forgot about this one too. But yeah, I went and had seen last night the new Jurassic World movie, and I thought it was okay. It was actually, believe it or not, I went down to the 309 movie theater. It's close to my old stomping ground, very close to Horsham, where I used to live, and for a couple years, and not too far, I should say. And I thought the movie was okay. I thought it was a little bit, like, it didn't, if I'm a little bit, I can't even think of the correct word. Like, if I'm a little bit, if the movie's not that good, I'm going to feel, or I will get very antsy. And I have this thing going on with me that, I feel like I have to use the restroom, like, because my attention's not there. So my mind goes, it gets distracted really easily because the film's not that good. Well, that's what happened. And I thought it was just me. It's like, well, this is actually, there's only like 2 or 3 seats available still for the movie. And you had assigned seats. So, and I had a little bit of difficult time last night because somebody was sitting in my seat, this older Indian couple, and I had to tell them, hey, I'm sorry, you're in the wrong seat. After I decided to take somebody else's seat, which I thought was theirs, and find out that some guy kicked me out of this other seat. He says, my daughter's coming in shortly, and you're in her seat. It's like, I can't win. So it was a nightmare with that, too. You have to fight with people over assigned seats and not being able to read the numbers correctly on the seats, the seating arrangement. So, and then, to make it worse, I would say there was at least a half an hour worth of, I don't want to say advertisement, but for upcoming movies, there's like a half an hour segment of just, these films are coming out soon. I was like, you know what? Can't we kind of cut that a little shorter? I mean, it's great. that they do this, but a half an hour worth of advertisement for different films is a little too much. And that just made me really antsy, too. So, and the movie was long enough, but I thought the movie was okay. To me, I felt that it fell a little flat, a little short, and I was not that entertained, not as much as I was personally by Solo. Solo, I could actually see a third time. Had seen the film of Solo, the Star Wars story, twice. And both times I really enjoyed the film. I was not bored whatsoever. And again, I could see that even a third time. But I have no desire to go see the movie of the new Jurassic World movie. I thought it was all right. The way it ended, though, and by the way, just to let you know, generally you don't see this in other films besides Marvel. But yeah, you probably want to sit to the very end credit, because not the start of the credits, but the very end credit, because there is a little segment right afterwards. And they kind of lead you to believe with this film, it's like, okay, it's bad enough that this movie just kind of was long, but to make things worse, it was a setup for yet another film. So, yeah, that was a little bit of the part that I was like, wow, they kind of left this open for another film. It's like, isn't it enough? But they seem to mimic or had taken some idea either from the old or the new Planet of the Apes. And I'll leave it at that. So, yeah, they're kind of copying something else now. And I don't know. Anyway, another story my friend had. I totally forgot about this, and I had it laying here. He was sending a joke to me because I, went and had seen not too long ago Demi Lovato, and he had to send it from a webpage called Page 6. Demi Lovato reveals relapse after 6 years of sobriety. She had a relapse with, doing drugs again. So, I don't need to go into that, and it is actually, I'm just trying to get that hour mark that I usually try. Generally, I don't have a problem, and I could talk about more in depth about Demi Lovato and other things, but I will not, because I kind of just deters of what I actually had set up tonight as actually me not talking too much. So everyone, thank you very much. Hope you enjoy this, and I am signing off for now. And have a good weekend if you don't hear from me. And I will keep people filled in on stuff that I think is important. To me, not to anybody else, but just to me. Have a good one, folks.